Good morning, everybody. Today is February 1st, 2024. Right now it's 8:07 a.m. Market's going to open in 23 minutes. It always takes me a second to do that math real quick. It's so silly. Should be able to do that. Yesterday was FOMC day. Hope everybody survived the day. I don't know. There was a couple interesting things with FOMC. I wonder if a 5-minute chart would be the best way to take a look at it. What we had going on with the announcement. So basically, they said they weren't going to raise rates. They weren't going to they weren't going to cut rates right now. They weren't going to raise them. They were just going to leave them the same. And so the market kind of like that, right? And this was I think they released it at 1. You didn't really see a reaction at 1 o'clock on it. It just came down, I think maybe just because they weren't going to raise rates. But the big deal was the press conference that came out. That when Jerome Powell didn't come out, when Jerome Powell gave his press conference, you can just kind of see the price action over here. We saw this initial impulse. This was when he began talking over here, waiting for some good. He made some good positive comments, and it came up. I think he said something along the lines of, "We are going to cut rates. Our goal is to cut rates." Blah blah blah. And so everyone's like, "Yay, we're cutting rates. Here we go." And then he said, I think it was on questions. I don't know if it wasn't in the initial statement, but it was on questions. He said, "Well, we're probably not going to cut in March," and boom, we just went down on that news. I think people were expecting a rate cut in March, and him coming out saying we may not cut in March was very negative for the market. So we saw this negative reaction, and markets, I think, continued just to kind of tick down on that. Did they? No, not really. Yes, we kind of flattened out. I just remember this move, and markets just kept falling. I was looking at my stocks, and they kept pushing down lower, particularly the growth stocks. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. If we could look at higher time frames, the market is super extended to the upside, and let's look at a daily chart where we're actually at. Is this overly bearish? No, I don't think it's overly bearish yet. I don't think he's sending the markets crashing. It's actually probably a healthy pullback, and we're still in this up channel. We're right at the support level, though. We would have to get through, obviously we'd have to get through this level, 17,200, I would say, which is yesterday's low. That's going to be super significant. That's going to be the FOMC news low, yesterday's low. If we break that, then we may see a pretty good, move down. And I think your next level is going to be somewhere down here, 16,600, 16,500-ish level. This whole zone is going to really come into play, but we got to get through that 200 level first with some pretty aggressive move, I guess I would say. You want to see price holding those lower prices, right? You don't want to just wick through it and we come back up and we start breaking swing highs. Then, that's probably going to be a fake out, and we're just testing support, and we're going to make another run to the upside of this channel. So it'll be interesting to see what price wants to do. I can't predict the future. The only thing I can do is react to what price is doing. I don't try to guess what the market's going to do. I just come up with scenarios of how I come up with scenarios, and then how am I going to try to play it if that happens. We can also see here this 200 level corresponds with this resistance zone. So yeah, I think that's just in play. We're coming down to it. So I just wanted to show that real quick. Boom, the bull move is still the bull market is still intact. We'd have to get through 200, and really you'd have to then, break this low at 300, and then you'd have to break this low. Or what would happen is, and just bear with me, guys, I don't want to get too detailed into this, but, you would come down, we come down here, and then we get through this, and then we make attempt higher, and then we break this low. That would be really significant, that we would start making lower highs and lower lows, and forming a bearish down channel. So, just want to have this daily chart in mind, moving forward and seeing how price is reacting on higher time frames. So let's look over here on a 4-hour. We got through pretty good level over here, for sure. Right here, the support level we broke down, and we are holding those lower prices. We can see what was support has become resistance. Yeah, 200's opened up here. We may want to get a move down, see what happens. pre-market though, we're kind of inching up pre-market. Let's take a look at the hourly. Begin to range here on the 1 hour. Just see the bands here on the 1 hour. The Bollinger Bands are kind of leveling out. If we get through this low here, we'll probably open up this pocket. To the upside, we have this big low volume node. Today is Thursday, so I think this weekly volume profile definitely comes into play. Big level of resistance up here. May be looking at a little bit of a range going on. May not have the gas to, or the fundamentals to make another move up, but it also I don't think wants to go down. So we may see some choppy ranging. These are the levels that we're looking at, and mark all these out. It may just be a scalp day. It may just be scalping this thing today. I expect not to get like a good directional move today. I can totally see us, coming down here, wicking through this, coming back up, testing this, maybe coming back up into here, or the exact opposite. We come up here. I'll try to take some of this off. We, come up here, wick through here, come back down somewhere in here. It could just be pretty choppy today, to be honest. I think the market is searching for direction right now. I do think, it's gonna. I don't see a real. I shouldn't say that because Powell did come out and say they're not going to raise rates. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to try to guess what the market's going to do. I'm just going to try to get on the gravy train when it's making its moves. You can look over here at a 5-minute. Obviously that range is in play on the 5-minute. Got our resistance area up here and our big support area down here. Maybe 03's opened up on here, support. Yeah, we're just going to let the market open, see if we can't find an opportunity on price action, see if it wants to, like I said, on the hourly over here, start kind of making its move up. I think your take profit would be at 390 at the most. This isn't a whole lot, but if we broke 363, we broke this little high down here. You can see it here on pre-market. Just this little pocket, like taking 10 points on it, 10 points on it, maybe break this one, taking however many points that is, 10, 15 points. And that one, I think that's really the only play that I'm seeing right now. And then I think it'll be interesting to see what it wants to do today and tomorrow. Let's look at some news. Macroeconomic. Must have accidentally clicked somewhere. News for today. Initial jobless claims came in lower than expected. So this is printing red, but you can see we actually came in higher than previous. So more jobless claims. That actually might be a good sign for indices because if the economy's too hot, they're not going to lower interest rates. So ISM prices, that'll be interesting. That's at 9 a.m. Central Time, my time. So I definitely want to keep an eye on that. ISM PMI, definitely. So at 9 o'clock, there's going to be some news. I might try to take one of those little scalps that we talked about. We break one of those levels down to the bottom or upper band in the 1 hour, and then wait for the this news to come out. We have NFP coming out tomorrow, which is going to be a big one. So let's see what happens. We'll sit on our hands for a while, hopefully not get too eager beaver. Sit on our hands, see if we can't find an opportunity. Okay, guys, hang tight. Okay, guys, market's about to open. Just open. Looking at taking that short that we talked about down here at 88, trying to get that pop. We can see prices come right down to the support level that we drew out in pre-market. There was also this ascending trend line, which I forgot to draw. I didn't see it. You can see it over on the 4 hour as well. Then here on the hourly. See if this price is going to hold. We wanted to try to break this level. I'm anticipating it breaking that level, moving down. Remember, I don't want to like guess what the market's going to do. I want to go with the market. So I really want to see it break, and then I want to see order flow confirm it. Just waiting here to see what it wants to do. But I do see this opening up down here. Down to, just down to 50, 60. I see Delta drop in. I may jump in here. Hopefully I don't get burned. Right at that trend line. See what it wants to do. Right at that trend line. Bouncing off of it. I need it to break. Might add at the top of this range here. Ooh, might get stopped out. Well, it's bouncing off that trend line. I might close out for a small loss here. Oh, let it play out. I got $1,100 in drawdown. Qualcomm got Qualcomm beat expectations or beat earnings last night, but it's falling today on guidance. A lot of these big tech names are just way overextended. It's affecting the market here. Hopefully I don't get wicked out. Don't kill me on this, guys. This is going up to 31. I want to give this thing a little bit more room to move. It's a very conflicting feeling because I'm rooting for this thing to go down because I got in this short. But at the same time, I want the markets to go up because I do not want to see us go into a bearish cycle here. This looks like it might want to push up. Point of control coming in there means we got some volume coming in. I'm just going to close out. I think we're going to get a move up here. I'll just take the 250 loss and see if we can't find something else. Trying to think. That trade, I really needed for this trend line to break, and I just didn't wait for it. Just trying to guess the price here. If we look at market internals a little bit, market breadth is bullish. We gapped up on advanced decline, so those are bullish signs. Well, see if we can't find something better. All right, let's see what happens. All right, guys, I got into another short here. I'm trying to just get a little push here. I'll just take that for what it is. Man, this thing's gonna be choppy today. Took a short here as we made this new high. We came down. We had this little pullback here. I thought we were gonna get this move real quick. Now it looks like it might start falling. Today's gonna be choppy, man. Today's gonna be choppy. You can feel the chop. I also saw over here market internals, advanced decline was going bearish. A little bit was just me, trying to jump into a trade and fix my P&L, to be honest with you, which is not ever a good sign. Maybe could have held this down a little bit longer, but I think I'm gonna need to go fill up my coffee mug. I'm probably gonna let this news come out at 9, and let's see what it wants to do there. I'm reacting to this smaller time frame, even though it's a 500 volume. Price action, which I'm not keeping the larger price action in mind. I jumped into that, and I was like, wait a second, we're coming down this massive area of confluence that could provide a lot of support over here on the hourly 20 SMA VWAP. Plus, we're bouncing off of this trend line, which probably validates this trend line, right? Really need to wait for this trend line down here to break, or for us to get a clean move over 65, like we talked about in pre-market. So I would need this low to break. I would want to see Delta coming along with it. We break that trend line, and then you're just taking it down to 50-ish. That's quite a bit. 30 points. I got to keep that trade in mind, not get sucked into this little minutia down here, over here. We can also see 65. So I mean, those are really the only two trade setups I'm seeing, and I got to stick to that and not be so impulsive watching price action. This pocket here or this pocket here, and that's the only moves that I should be taking right now. So hold me accountable, guys. Only let me take those one of those two trades, and hopefully we can get this red to green here. All right, let's sit on our hands for a little bit. Okay, guys, so I just want to check in, kind of talk through what I see, what's going on. We had those PMI numbers come out 11 minutes ago. My CQG just completely froze up. I've got two CQG connections going on. I got this Take Profit Trader one, but I also have my Ninja Trader CQG subscription, and the Ninja Trader CQG just froze up, completely went red, disconnected, but Take Profit was still connected. And it caused, I don't know what, my whole thing just froze. And so I had to restart Ninja Trader. So I actually missed the whole PMI move. But let's just take a look at it real quick, what we had happen. When I restarted, it took off my trend line here. We did get that break of that trend line that we were looking for on that news. Came through, busted through, and we didn't actually get the full move down to 55. And then we immediately whipsawed back up right afterwards. You can see here, this right at 9 o'clock, right when the news came out, 8:59. It was actually before the news, it looks like. I was completely frozen in this whole process. Yeah, 8:57, it looks like we dropped down, 8:57. And then at 9, after it came out, made right here at 9, right after it came out. So PMI has driven this back up. That's what's happened. So it's a bullish sign on the PMI, but look at what's going on now. A little delta divergence. Are we gonna roll now? Do we trap some bulls up here? Look at delta moving lower. Might take a stab at a short. This LVN though might hold. Let's see what it wants to do. Delta's moving lower. Looking at time and sales. I'm not really seeing the selling coming through on time and sales. We got a couple time and sales windows up. One is, get out of here. This is a triple Q. So it's the NASDAQ ETF. I have that up. I also have just the not good old fashioned, but I also have NQ time and sales, NQ and the MNQ. So I'm looking at that. If these all start flashing red, see that red coming through. You can also see Delta. It's trying to hold this low volume node. It just may give way. And up here, we can just watch time and sales a little bit, see if we see some aggressive selling coming through. I see it. Here it comes, I think, maybe. Take a stab at a short, guys. I want to see if we can get through this low volume node. You can also see that we're coming up top of the band on the 5-minute. We're at that key level that we drew out in pre-market up here, so this is a significant level. And down, might take a stab. 27, it's not a whole lot of meat on this thing. See if it wants to try. One thing you might want to do is see if it wants to make an attempt up and then short it somewhere up here. And then we got some buying coming in here. Time and sales that were still red over here on the NQ. The indecision. My original plan was to buy it, the break at 65, take it up to 79. Shorten it. And 56. Where's 56? I might short it again at 56. Add to it. And I might close out. Looking a little too bullish here. I'm going to close out. Maybe we start trending up. You got to remember, we also have earnings coming out. We have earnings coming out at we have Meta earnings, and we've got Apple. I think is reporting. A lot of people are buying these earnings. Let's put this below the swing low here. 68, 7. Please, trading gods, don't let me get chopped up. Please, trading gods, I don't want to be chopped up. Let's see what happens with this guy. Oh, well, that's it for me, guys. I think I'm too close to my daily loss limit. I'm just gonna have to call it quits. That sucked. I don't know. You know, lots of things could have been better today, but again, I kind of knew it was going to be a choppy day coming in, and I've tried to take these little momentum trades where we get the push up, low volume node, trying to, or originally I took that short, I guess, which was the right trade, and then I just got chopped up here. I'm thinking went short, got stopped out. Okay, I'm going to go long. Added to it, thinking that we're going to get that push there, but looking at it, it's just ranging and choppy. And 847, not out of the game, but I definitely do not want to go full tilt and get out of the game. So we're just going to call it quits. I don't know. Wish I could part with you on some words of wisdom. I don't have any. These days happen, and it's just choppy. Um, yeah, I don't know. Got any value out of this? You like seeing somebody chop up their account? Give this thing a like, a subscribe. It's the reality of it. Not all days are going to be green days. We're going to have some red days. Some red days are going to be bigger than other red days, and hopefully you keep them few and far between, but they are going to happen. Yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Check back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We've got NFP going on tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. And hopefully you guys are having a good trading day out there. Take care, guys. See you later. Bye.